Let's go. Break 208. Getting into them. All set up, ready to go. We are doing it solo. It's my grandfather's birthday, so Dad's taking him out to lunch. So we will be opening the starters by ourselves. Our team list: Broncos, Jeff Warnes; Raiders, Brett Peters; Bulldogs, Matt Wellington; Sharks, Scott Crimo; Titans, David Jansen with the Raz win; Manly, Adam Flint; Storm, Luke Toomey; Knights, Ben Condon; Cowboys, Peter Lowe; Eels, Jai Dawson; Panthers, James Knowles; Rabbitohs, Matthew Wellington; Dragons, Roger Cito; Roosters, Matt Price; Warriors, Brent Nichols; Tigers, Dylan Cameron. Alright, so we've got our priority box. We'll push that over. We get stuck into our starter packs, get them done and out of the way. So yeah, I'm not used to opening these like these guys, so we'll just see how we go. We will be right. Club Heroes Bronze for the Rabbitohs. Savita Tola, number 104. Once I get a sleeve out. 104. I'll leave all the packets to the end. I should have watched Jared Ree's videos before I did this. Learned some lessons. Club Hero Bronze for the Broncos, Jasmine Fogavini, number 72. But yeah, the fastest way is definitely Dad's way, I reckon. Club Hero Bronze for the Panthers, 112, Dylan Edwards. Side of them are sharp. Club Hero Bronze, number 73. For the Dragons, Blake Laurie. Club Hero Bronze, number 76, Leo Thompson for the Knights. So for anyone that was in break 207, we're lucky that we managed to get that out on Saturday morning, because basically not long after we finished, the net started dropping out again. Club Hero Silver, number 10, Tolator Koala for Manly. Can't believe it. I gave myself a little nick the other week, last week, with a box. The ends are getting soft. Don't like it. Club Hero Silver for the Broncos, Jasmine Fogavini, number 37. Club Hero Gold, number 19, for the Cowboys, Jeremiah Nanai. Club Hero Bronze, number 71, Tara McGrath West for the Dragons. Come on. Club Hero Gold, number 35, Racine McGregor for the Roosters. Club Hero Silver, number 72, Lachlan Elias for the Rabbitohs. Club Hero Silver, number 75, Jason Tuamulolo for the Cowboys. Club Hero Bronze, number 122, Ewan Aiken for the Warriors. Club Hero Bronze, Shanice Parker for the Knights, number 77. Club Hero Gold, number 25. Tyson Frizzell for the Knights. We've got 2 packets left. Oh no, 3 packets. Club Hero Silver, number 23, Joseph Suwali for the Roosters. Club Hero Silver, number 48 for the Broncos, Ezra Mann. G'day, mate. Alright, last starter packet. Oh. I don't know if I'm just being too nice with them or what the go is. They're a pain. Club Hero Bronze, number 54, Tolo Koala for Manly. Maybe I need to practice opening them some more. Alright, so that is the end of our starter packet bonus cards. Let's get these retail packets open. Now I'm yet to hear of one, but I do believe that there are legend SIGs and things like that in here, but I do not know. Tolo Koala, Club Heroes for Manly. Junior Paulo, parallel for the Eels. Can't say I've heard of anyone or seen one be hit in the retail packets. Fletcher Baker, Rising Stars for the Roosters. If you have, let me know. That'd be cool. Xavier Coates, parallel for the Storm. Season to remember, Mikhail Ravalawa for the Dragons. Jaden Campbell, parallel for the Titans. Club Hero, Big Tino for the Titans. Regan Campbell Gillard, parallel for the Eels. Rising Stars, Dean Mariner for the Broncos. Jaden Campbell, parallel for the Titans. Tommy Dearden, parallel for the Cowboys. Tamika Upton, Women's NRL for the Knights. Delhi Cherry Evans, parallel for Manly. G'day Peter, welcome to the break, mate. Adam Dewey, parallel for the Tigers. Good luck in the break. Season to remember, Sean Johnson for the Warriors. Big Tino, parallel for the Titans. Rising Stars, Sean Russell for the Eels. Dane Laurie, parallel for the Tigers. Rising Stars, Sonny Luke for the Panthers. Jordan Rapiner, parallel for the Raiders. Adam Pompey, forwards and backs for the Warriors. Cody Walker, parallel for the Rabbits. Tohu Harris, driving force for the Warriors. Liam Martin, parallel for Panthers. Jeremiah Nanai, parallel for the Cowboys. Stephanie Hancock, women's NRL for the Titans. Lachlan Croker, parallel for Manly. Have you got your tips in? Make sure you get your tips in, and if you have enjoyed the free tipping comp, do so. Fletcher Baker, Rising Stars for the Roosters. Nelson Asafa Solomona, parallel for the Storm. It doesn't matter when you join the tipping comp, you can always win. So, bud. Ali Brigginshaw, women's NRL for the Broncos. And James Tedesco, parallel for the Roosters. So $50 gift card up for grabs each round based on that round's top tipper. Amatoni Gatto, women's NRL for the Dragons. Latrell Mitchell, parallel for the Rabbits. And of course, we have the new paid tipping comp. We're only one round in, so plenty of time to go. We're leaving that open for entries up until round 3, guys. Chad Townsend, Power Heroes for the Cowboys. Cameron McInnes, parallel for the Sharks. We're not sure if someone on NRL.com, if they join a new comp after it's already started, if their points will carry over, if that makes sense to anyone. Griffin Neem, Rising Stars for the Cowboys. Billy Walters, parallel for the Broncos. So by round 3, nobody should be too far in front or too far behind or whatever to join. And after that, well, we'll cut it off. Driving force for the Roosters. Brian To'o, parallel for Panthers. Destiny Brill, women's NRL for the Roosters. Warriors parallel checklist. Yeah, Peter, if you're still watching, I was writing the email, and I've gone to the YouTube channel to grab the link to share with you. And there was one notification sitting there saying that you'd subscribed yesterday. Forwards and backs, Wade Egan for the Warriors. Campbell Graham, parallel for the Rabbits. Yeah, if you're on Facebook, make sure you join the Facebook group, because that's where we do a lot of giveaways and try and keep everyone up to date. Jacob Saifidi, forwards and backs for the Knights. Josh Papali, parallel for the Raiders. And we do try and send out the regular emails with the updates as well, but we are crazy busy, so we're trying to get as much done as possible, guys. Sonny Luke, Rising Stars for the Panthers. Elliot Whitehead, parallel for the Raiders. Jackson Hastings, parallel for the Tigers. Rising Stars, Dean Mariner for the Broncos. Bo Formore, parallel for the Titans. Rising Stars, Leo Thompson for the Knights. Kalen Ponga, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Jacob Carraz for the Bulldogs. Jason Saab, parallel for Manly. Forwards and backs, parallel, Stafford Tower for the Tigers. Cowboys parallel checklist. Season to remember, Isaac Tago for Panthers. Alex Twile parallel for the Tigers. Yeah. No worries. Adam Reynolds, season to remember for the Broncos. Selwyn Cobbo, parallel for the Broncos. I'm not sure if it was yours, Jeff, but I'm pretty sure I picked yours. Your order that come through. Jason Taumalolo, driving force for the Cowboys. Bulldogs parallel checklist. Michael Molo, Rising Stars for the Dragons. Victor Radley, parallel for the Roosters. Yes, a lot of people are definitely racing to collect those. And surprising, the women's Roosters are very popular. Vanessa Foliaki, women's NRL for the Eels. Ryan Pappenhausen, parallel for the Storm. Surprised how much of the Roosters women's I've been picking for orders the last couple of days. Driving force, Junior Paulo for the Eels. Stephen Crichton, parallel for Panthers. Let's grab this and put a few away. I'll put way too many. Fix that later. Alright. So we're definitely getting through these. Not too many left now. Damien Cook, Power Heroes for the Rabbits. Jesse Ramian, parallel for the Sharks. Which is a little bit surprising really. It normally takes me about half an hour even with Dad's help. So hopefully that means we can get through them a bit quicker next time he's here. KO Weeks, Rising Stars for Manly. Clint Gufferson, parallel for the Eels. Rising Stars, Aaron Booth for the Titans. Jason Taumalolo, parallel for the Cowboys. Rising Stars, Trey Mooney for the Raiders. Jazz Tavega, parallel for the Warriors. Caitlin Johnston, Women's NRL for the Knights. Lachlan Croker, parallel for Manly. Rising Stars, Sean Russell for the Eels. Cheers, Jeff. Give me a second. Hopefully we can fix it. Hopefully that's a bit better now. Get that team list back up. There we go. Adam Dewey, parallel for the Tigers. Women's NRL, Jamie Chapman for the Broncos. Roosters parallel checklist. Aaron Booth, Rising Stars for the Titans. Jeremiah Nanai, parallel for the Cowboys. Power Heroes, Stephen Crichton for the Panthers. CSF Telekai. Nah, still dropping, right. Parallel for the Sharks. I don't know if that's going to be worse or better. Is the video jumpy at all, or the video is fine, I'm assuming? It's just the audio. Everything's saying it's right. I don't know. Zara Canfield, Women's NRL for the Titans. Manly parallel checklist. Cheers, Dry. Toby Sexton, parallel for the Titans. Dolphins, number 7. Zach Lomax, parallel for the Dragons. Driving Force, Cameron McInnes for the Sharks. Mikhail Ravalawa, parallel for the Dragons. Dane Gagai, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Austin Diaz for the Tigers. Matt Burton, parallel for the Bulldogs. Austin Diaz, Rising Stars for the Tigers. Jake Avarillo, parallel for the Bulldogs. 2 packets left out of the starter packs. We'll get into the case next. Tamika Upton, Driving Force for the Knights. Oh, that's good to know. Jaden Sewer, parallel for the Dragons. I switched over to a couple of different options on the microphones. Jacob Saifiti, parallel for the Knights. These days, everything's got a microphone and a camera, and yeah. Alright. I'll move these back out of my way. let's get this case open. Find out the lucky case card. David Jansen with the Titans from the Raz win. Number we got 37. Congratulations. Alright, let's get these boxes out and let's get them opened. Alright, box done. So we've got our 12 case boxes and our priority box. Let's go. Lost my team list again amongst all that. So, first box of the case, box number 1. Let's go. Tiana Penatani, women's NRL for the Eels. Zach Lomax, parallel for the Dragons. Power Heroes, Regan Campbell-Gillard for the Eels. Kalen Ponga, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Lindsay Smith for the Panthers. Josh Papali, parallel for the Raiders. Gold parallel, number 62, Manly checklist. Matt Burton, parallel for the Bulldogs. Driving Force, Jocelyn Keller for the Roosters. Latrell Mitchell, parallel for the Rabbits. Forwards and backs, parallel for the Bulldogs, Matt Burton. Jazz Tavega, parallel for the Warriors. Jeremiah Nanai, Rising Stars for the Cowboys. Selwyn Cobbo, parallel for the Broncos. Season to remember, Murray Talagi for the Cowboys. James Tedesco, parallel for the Roosters. Forwards and backs, Stafford Toa for the Tigers. Stephen Crichton, parallel for the Panthers. Women's NRL, Paige McGregor for the Dragons. Jason Tomalolo, parallel for the Cowboys. Rising Stars, Curtis Moran for the Bulldogs. Manly, parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Tanila Atu Kolo. Rising Stars for the Warriors, Cameron McInnes, parallel for the Sharks. Season to remember, Brad Schneider for the Raiders. Jackson Hastings, parallel for the Tigers. Driving Force, Jacob Saifiti for the Knights. Bo Formore, parallel for the Titans. Tolator Koala, Rising Stars for Manly. Ali Simonson, parallel for the Eels. Lily Boyle, Women's NRL for the Knights. Xavier Coates, parallel for the Storm. Kamora Brealey, Natty, Women's NRL for the Titans. Harry Grant, parallel for the Storm. Dolphins, number 1. Blake Brayley, parallel for the Sharks. Ben Hunt, Club Heroes for the Dragons. Billy Walters, parallel for the Broncos. Rising Stars, Tyron Wishart for the Storm. Brian Tyler, parallel for Panthers. Driving Force, Ben Hunt for the Dragons. Warriors, parallel checklist. Kyle Felt, forwards and backs for the Cowboys. Cowboys parallel checklist. Cade Dykes, Rising Stars for the Sharks. Campbell Graham, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Olivia Koenig, Women's NRL for the Roosters. Jason Saab, parallel for Manly. Rising Stars, Hayes Perham for the Eels. Alex Twal, parallel for the Tigers. Driving Force, Tohu Harris for the Warriors. Toby Sexton, parallel for the Titans. Julie Robinson, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Elliot Whitehead, parallel for the Raiders. Driving Force team for the Tigers. Clint Gutherson parallel for the Eels. Rising Stars, Terrell May for the Roosters, Brian Pappenhausen parallel for Storm. Reuben Garrick, Power Heroes for Manly, Dane Gagai parallel for the Knights. Sixth last packet for our first box. We've already done the starter packets. Tohu Harris, season to remember for the Warriors. Jesse Ramian, parallel for the Sharks. Predictor. Aha. Number 221 for the Dolphins. So it'll get randomised with the Dolphins cards. Victor Radley, parallel for the Roosters. Junior Tupou, Rising Stars for the Tigers. Bulldogs parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Isaiah Tass for the Rabbits. Mikhail Ravalawa, parallel for the Dragons. Rising Stars, Jaden Hunt for the Dragons. Daniel Tupou, parallel for the Roosters. Last packet for the first box. Retirements. George Tafua for Manly. Junior Paulo, parallel for the Eels to finish it off. Zach Lomax, Power Heroes for the Dragons. Herbie Farmworth, parallel for the Broncos. A couple of people coming and going. For those of you just joining us, we are up to box number 2 in the case. We have got all the starter packets done. Emily Bass, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Isaiah Yeo, parallel for the Panthers. Cleese House, Rising Stars for the Titans. Reuben Cotter, parallel for the Cowboys. Driving Force, Adam Dewey for the Tigers. Morgan Harper, parallel for Manly. Women's NRL, Georgia Hale for the Titans. Blake Laurie, parallel for the Dragons. Rising Stars, Alec McDonald for the Storm. James Fisher-Harris, parallel for Panthers. Driving force, Latrell Mitchell for the Rabbitohs. Murray Talagi, parallel for the Cowboys. Dolphins, number 17. David Clemmer, parallel for the Knights. Club Heroes, Jeremiah Nanai for the Cowboys. Tigers, parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Ezra Mam for the Broncos. Mawaki Fodawaika, parallel for the Titans. Forwards and backs, Payne Huss for the Broncos. Sean Lane, parallel for the Eels. Women's NRL, Racine McGregor for the Roosters. Justin Olam, parallel for the Storm. Forwards and backs, David Fafita for the Titans. Titans parallel checklist. I think a lot of people were expecting Fafita to end up at the Broncos. Extended his deal at Titans in the end. Jamin Salmon, Rising Stars for Panthers. Raiders parallel checklist. Forwards and backs, parallel, Nick Kotrick for the Raiders. Josh Alawai, parallel for Manly. Rising Stars, Jacob Arthur for the Eels. Brent Naden, parallel for the Tigers. Our heroes, Matt Burton for the Bulldogs. Adam Reynolds, parallel for the Broncos. Kennedy Sherrington, Women's NRL for the Eels. Dolan Bettine Zalesniak, parallel for the Warriors. Rising Stars, Ronald Volkman for the Warriors. Toby Rudolph, parallel for the Sharks. One running game. The $1 Million Man. Tegan Berry, Women's NRL for the Dragons. Mitchell Moses, parallel for the Eels. Driving force, Emma Tanigato for the Dragons. Joey Manu, parallel for the Roosters. Rising Stars, Ben Thomas for the Roosters. Jerome Hughes, parallel for Storm. Corey Waddell, parallel for the Bulldogs. Excuse me. Driving force team for the Eels, Women's NRL. Aaron Shoop, parallel for Bulldogs. Season to remember, Jacob Carraz for the Bulldogs. Nicholas Hines, parallel for the Sharks. Women's NRL, Hannah Southwell for the Knights. Dragons parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Isaac Thompson for the Rabbitohs. Moses Sulite parallel for the Dragons. Season to remember, Mitchell Moses for the Eels. Knights parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Christian Mapapalangi for the Knights. Daniel Saifiti parallel for the Knights. Season to remember, Xavier Coates for the Storm. Hudson Young parallel for the Raiders. Driving Force, Clint Gufferson for the Eels. Joseph Suwali parallel for the Roosters. Retirements, David Mead for the Titans. Broncos, sorry, my bad. Seen the Titans jersey. Didn't even look at the logo. Raiders parallel, Jack Whiten. Rising Stars, Kale Iro for the Sharks. Cameron Murray parallel for the Rabbits. Gold parallel, number 12, Mr. Josh King for the Storm. Damien Cook parallel for the Rabbitohs. That could be ABL, Jimmy. Rising Stars, Zach Wolford for the Raiders. And Fanua Blake parallel for the Warriors. Rising Stars, Fanua Powell for the Tigers. Max King parallel for the Bulldogs. Rising Stars for Noah Pole for the Tigers. Aaron Shoop parallel for the Bulldogs. Our second predictor, number 202 for the Broncos. Any chance I can have that woolly jar over here? Please? Oh, I did a good job on it. Didn't empty it. Not quite. Hudson Young parallel for the Raiders. Huh? Oh, well, someone help me. In gold parallel, number 65, Alexander Brinson for the Titans. Latrell Mitchell parallel for the Rabbitohs. Zach Wolford, Rising Stars for the Raiders. Jazz Tavega, parallel for the Warriors. Thank you. Awesome. Jack Whiten, Power Heroes for the Raiders. Selwyn Cobbo, parallel for the Broncos. Taryn Aiken, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Stephen Crichton, parallel for Panthers. Rising Stars, Kale Hero for the Sharks. Damien Cook, parallel for the Rabbits. Women's NRL, Philomena Hennessy for the Eels, and Fanua Blake parallel for the Warriors. Now Heroes, Bradman Best for the Knights, Herbie Farnworth parallel for the Broncos. Madison Bartlett, Women's NRL for the Titans, and Moses Sulai, parallel for the Dragons. Rising Stars, Cleese Haas for the Titans, Jason Tomalolo, parallel for the Cowboys. Driving Force, Millie Boyle for the Knights. Manly parallel checklist. Club Heroes, Tyron Wishart for the Storm. Jackson Hastings parallel for the Tigers. Ezra Mam, Rising Stars for Broncos. Bo Fulmore, parallel for the Titans. Forwards and backs, Ronaldo Mulatalo for the Sharks. Bailey Simonson, parallel for the Eels. Dolphins, number 15. Knights Parallel Checklist. Rising Stars, Jamin Salmon for the Panthers. Jack Whiten Parallel for the Raiders. Driving Force, Jack Bird for the Dragons. Ruben Cotter Parallel for the Cowboys. Forwards and backs parallel, Dominic Young for the Knights. Morgan Harper parallel for Manly. Women's NRL, Samantha Bremner for the Roosters. Harry Grant parallel for the Storm. Rising Stars, Ronald Volkman for the Warriors. Blake Brayley parallel for the Sharks. Jacob Arthur, Rising Stars for the Eels. Tigers Parallel Checklist. Driving Force, Nathan Cleary for Panthers. Daniel Tupou parallel for the Roosters. Driving Force team for the Panthers. Corey Waddell parallel for the Bulldogs. Forwards and backs, Joey Tapine for the Raiders. Owaki Fodawaika parallel for the Titans. Keezy Apps, Women's NRL for the Dragons. Sean Lane parallel for the Eels. Bulldogs Parallel Checklist. Autumn Rain, Women's NRL for the Knights. Zach Lomax parallel for the Dragons. Rising Stars, Ben Thomas for the Roosters. Justin Olam parallel for the Storm. Season to remember, Edward Cossey for the Warriors. Toby Rudolph parallel for the Sharks. Rising Stars, Isaac Thompson for the Rabbitohs. And Dragons Parallel Checklist. Rising Stars, Christian Mapalangi for the Knights. Kalen Ponga parallel for the Knights. We have 4 packets left, this being the 4th last for box number 3. Season to remember, Nat Butcher for the Roosters. Josh Papali parallel for the Raiders. Season to remember, Reece Robson for the Cowboys. Daniel Saifiti parallel for the Knights. should have displayed. We only had 2 packets left. But what have I done? Making a mess. There we go. 2 packets left. Box number 3. Adam Fanua-Blake from Driving Force for the Warriors. Joe Manu, parallel for the Roosters. Rising Stars, Alec McDonald for the Storm. And Isaiah Yeo, parallel for the Panthers. Alright, box number 4. Hayes Perham, Rising Stars for the Eels. Fanua-Pole, parallel for the Tigers. Driving Force, Cameron McInnes for the Sharks. And Wade Egan, parallel for the Warriors. Isabel Kelly, Driving Force for the Roosters. Philip Sammy, parallel for the Titans. Driving Force team for the Broncos. Ryan Madison, parallel for the Eels. Cade Dykes, Rising Stars for the Sharks. Cody Walker, parallel for the Rabbits. Terrell May, Rising Stars for the Roosters. Cameron Munster, parallel for the Storm. Season to remember, Zach Lomax for the Dragons. Sharks parallel checklist. Harley Brigginshaw, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Jordan Rabiner, parallel for the Raiders. Retirements, Soraya for the Roosters. Jared Herrera Hargreaves, parallel for the Roosters. Driving Force, Jason Taumalolo for the Cowboys. Jai Arrow, parallel for the Rabbits. Forwards and backs, parallel, Lindsay Collins for the Roosters. Josh Curran, parallel for the Warriors. Gold parallel for the Eels. Checklist number 58. Jake Averillo, parallel for the Bulldogs. Rising Stars, Jeremiah Nanai for the Cowboys. Thomas Flegler, parallel for the Broncos. Rising Stars, Junior Tupou for the Tigers. Jacob Carraz, parallel for the Bulldogs. Power Heroes, Chad Townsend for the Cowboys. Jacob Saifiti, parallel for the Knights. Vanessa Foliaki, Women's NRL for the Eels. Ben Hunt, parallel for the Dragons. Power Heroes, Damien Cook for the Rabbitohs. And Ari Tuala, parallel for the Knights. Lindsay Smith, Rising Stars for the Panthers. Joseph Tapine, parallel for the Raiders. Women's NRL, Destiny Brill for the Roosters. Tommy Turbo, parallel for Manly. Rising Stars, Isaiah Tass for the Rabbits. Jaden Sewer, parallel for the Dragons. Regan Campbell, parallel for the Eels. Club Heroes, Georgia Hale for the Titans. Tony Staggs, parallel for the Broncos. Rising Stars, Tyron Wisher for Storm. Panthers parallel checklist. Forwards and backs, Joe Offengawi for the Tigers. Liam Martin parallel for the Panthers. Season to remember, Luke Brooks for the Tigers. Roosters parallel checklist. Forwards and backs, Reece Robson for the Cowboys. Valentine Holmes parallel for the Cowboys. Women's NRL, Emma Tonigato for the Dragons. Jeremiah Nanai parallel for Cowboys. Rising Stars, Curtis Moran for the Bulldogs. Lachlan Croker parallel for Manly. Bellamy Kickout, season to remember for the Panthers. Adam Dewey parallel for the Tigers. Rising Stars, Danila Otakolo for the Warriors. Sifa Talakai, parallel for the Sharks. Driving Force, Junior Paulo for the Eels. Jaden Campbell, parallel for Titans. Rising Stars, Tolator Koala for Manly. Junior Paulo, parallel for the Eels. Women's NRL, Azara Canfield for Titans. Xavier Coates, parallel for Storm. 3 packets left for our 4th box. Women's NRL, Caitlin Johnston for the Knights. Nelson Asafa Solomona, parallel for the Storm. Dolphins, number 12. Cameron McInnes, parallel for the Sharks. Rising Stars, Jaden Hunt for the Dragons. And James Tedesco, parallel for the Roosters. It's another box down. What else we got? Alright, let's go. Box number 5. Power Heroes, Josh Curran for the Warriors. Dane Gagai, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Lindsay Smith for the Panthers. Elliot Whitehead, what you got, strawberries and cream or party mix? Nah, party mix. Elliot Whitehead for the Raiders. Don't know exactly which one. We've got Coke bottles and pineapples, and the teeth are good, they're big, so I've only got to grab one each time. Bradman Best gold parallel for the Knights, number 18. Jacob Carraz, parallel for the Bulldogs. And chewing stops me from yawning and almost nodding off. Drawing Force, Brittany Brealey Natty for the Titans. Campbell Graham, parallel for the Rabbits. Gets pretty quiet and lonely in my little corner. Forwards and backs parallel, Ajay Arrow for the Rabbits. Warriors parallel checklist. At times, yeah, I guess. But it's like I almost talked myself to sleep. Hayden Tolman, season to remember for the Sharks. Jared Rero-Hargraves, parallel for the Roosters. Pardon? But you're not, you've always got someone walking past or talking to you. I sit here for almost, well, basically 3 hours in the corner by myself. Rising Stars, Jeremiah Nanai for the Cowboys. No. Billy Walters, parallel for the Broncos. If you've noticed, normally when people are talking to me, I'm with it. Or at least conversating. But once everyone stops talking to me and I'm not paying attention, Justin Olam, forwards and backs for the Storm. Brian To'o, parallel for Panthers. Talia Fui Ma'ono, women's NRL for the Dragons. Cowboys parallel checklist. They hurt my head too much. Rising Stars, Curtis Morin for the Bulldogs. Jason Saab, parallel for Manly. Tanila Otukolo, Rising Stars for the Warriors. Sharks parallel checklist. Season to remember, Alex Johnston for the Rabbitohs. Alex Twal, parallel for the Tigers. Tommy Turbo, driving force for Manly. Toby Sexton, parallel for the Titans. Rising Stars, Tolator Koala, Manly. Clint Gufferson, parallel for the Eels. Women's NRL, Olivia Higgins for the Knights. Cameron Munster, parallel for the Storm. Women's NRL, Ivania Palit for the Titans. So you're getting better with sometimes. Ryan Pappenhausen, parallel for Storm. Number 5 for the Dolphins. Jesse Ramian, parallel for the Sharks. The worst thing is, Jeff, I went to school in Mount Druitt, and most of the kids around me were Islander, or yeah, so they shouldn't be that bad for me. Jaden Hunt, Rising Stars for the Dragons. Victor Bradley, parallel for the Roosters. Tyron Wishart, Rising Stars for the Storm. Liam Martin, parallel for the Panthers. I managed to get Big Tino's surname out once. I was practicing it, saying it over and over again, and I managed to get it out nice and smooth to what I thought was right. And yeah, I just can't get it. Driving force, Corey Holtz for the Broncos. Josh Curran, parallel for the Warriors. Because yeah, when I open a card off camera and it's a name that I know I have trouble with, I always try and say it a few times, practice it per se. Alex Johnston, boards and backs for the Rabbits. Jeremiah Nanai, parallel for the Cowboys. Oh, yeah, but you had different families as well. You'd call them by their surname families and that because there were so many of them. Sean Lane, club heroes for the Eels. Thomas Flegler, parallel for the Broncos. I mean, in saying that, like Sonny's dad, TFR Malholo. Sonny Luke's dad is Siffer Luke. So in saying that, I grew up around a lot of them. Some of them didn't have that bad of surnames. Shania Power, women's NRL for the Roosters. Lachlan Croker, parallel for Manly. And Taylor May and all them boys, their dad's Jason May, but he's Aussie. He married an Islander woman. Very nice family. Okay, Dykes, rising stars for the Sharks. Jai Arrow, parallel for the Rabbits. Rising stars, Hayes Perham for the Eels. Adam Dewey, parallel for the Tigers. Driving force, Cameron Munster for the Storm. Jaden Campbell, parallel for the Titans. Driving force team for the Roosters. Junior Paulo, parallel for the Eels. Women's NRL, Shanae Siasolka for the Broncos. Joey Tapine, parallel for the Raiders. Rising Stars, Terrell May for the Roosters. Xavier Coates, parallel for the Storm. Our Heroes Group B. So we'll randomise that between those 8 teams. Anari Tawala, parallel for the Knights. Season to remember, Ben Jabojevic for Manly. Cameron McInnes, parallel for the Sharks. Authentic initials, Kennedy Sherrington for the Eels, number 173. James Tedesco, parallel for the Roosters. Junior Tupou, rising stars for the Tigers. Matt Burton, parallel for the Bulldogs. Rising stars, Isaiah Tass for the Rabbitohs. Ben Hunt, parallel for Dragons. 2 packets left for box number 5. Women's NRL Test Stains for the Eels. Mikhail Ravalawa, parallel for the Dragons. Last packet for the box. Ryan Madison, parallel for the Eels. Alright. Box number 6. Forwards and backs parallel, Blake Brayley for the Sharks, Storm parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Declan Casey for the Bulldogs, Jake Trbojevic parallel for Manly. Rising Stars, Freddie Lussick for the Warriors. Renato Mortalo, parallel for the Sharks. Driving Force, Josh Jackson for the Bulldogs. Yeah, I think so many people got 4 out of 8 last week. Josh King, parallel for the Storm. Forwards and backs, Moses Leota for Panthers. Saitili Tupanua, parallel for the Roosters. Gold parallel, Jake Averillo for the Bulldogs. Going number 43. Scott Drinkwater, parallel for the Cowboys. Women's NRL, Keely Davis for the Dragons. Raymond Faitala Mariner, parallel for the Bulldogs. Rising Stars, Simi Sasagi for the Knights. Dominic Young, parallel for the Knights. Driving Force, Chelsea Leonard Doozy for the Broncos. Yeah, we had 7. We had 2 people with 7 out of 8 in our tips. Nick Kotrick, parallel for the Raiders. Does that mean she's not in our tipping comp, Jeff? Rising Stars, Trent Peoples for the Rabbitohs. Jack Bird, parallel for the Dragons. Season to remember, Tanner Boyd for the Titans. Jerome Luai, parallel for the Panthers. She got 7 out of 8. I don't remember her name being up the top. So Jackson Hastings, season around for the Tigers, and Chris Randall, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Tom Chester for the Cowboys. Kurt Capewell, parallel for the Broncos. Driving Force, Jared Herrera-Hargraves for the Roosters. No, she just tips to show me she's better at it. Well, tell her if she's that good, go and join the comp. Matthew Tomoko, parallel for the Raiders. Tell her if she wins you a gift card, you get to save some money on some cards. Jesse Colquhoun, Rising Stars for the Sharks. Thomas Burgess, parallel for the Rabbits. Even better. Tell her if she wins, she can keep it for her birthday or Christmas present cheap. Driving Force team for the Warriors. Rabbitohs parallel checklist. Brittany Brealey Natty, women's NRL for the Titans. Bunty Afoa, parallel for the Warriors. Women's NRL, Kira Dibb for the Knights. Tohu Harris, parallel for the Warriors. Rising Stars, James Schiller for the Raiders. Edward Cossey, parallel for the Warriors. Edric Lee, season to remember for the Knights. Payne Hush, parallel for the Broncos. You'll just have to swallow your pride and accept the gift cards. Zahara Tamara, women's NRL for the Roosters. Or it could be dangerous on the other side of it. She might start her own collection. Cody Ramsey, parallel for the Dragons. Rising Stars, Zach Fulton for Manly. Eels parallel checklist. Women's NRL, White Authentic Amber Hall for the Broncos, number 38. Nathan Cleary, parallel for Panthers. Joey Manu, forwards and backs for the Roosters. Josh Adokar, parallel for the Bulldogs. Sefo Fafita, Rising Stars for the Titans. Chad Townsend, parallel for the Cowboys. Women's NRL, Chelsea Lenarduzzi for the Broncos. Dave Fafita, parallel for the Titans. We'll tell her she needs to get her tips right then to save some money. Abby Church, Women's NRL for the Eels. Reuben Garrick, parallel for Manly. If she gets her tips right, then you won't have to spend so much. Joey Manu, Power Heroes for the Roosters. Stefano Utokumanu, parallel for the Tigers. Rising Stars, Matthew Feagai for the Dragons. Angus Crichton, parallel for the Roosters. Ryan Pappenhausen, Power Heroes for the Storm. Asuka Power, parallel for the Tigers. Don't worry, I know you're not the only one, Jeff, that's part of the things that I know of a couple of others for sure. Selwyn Cobbo, Rising Stars for the Broncos. Alexander Brimson, parallel for the Titans. Club Heroes for the Knights, Jesse Southwell. William Kennedy, parallel for the Sharks. Driving Force, Dale Finucane for the Sharks. Dylan Brown, parallel for the Eels. Grant Anderson, Rising Stars for the Storm. Talon May, parallel for Panthers. Alex Johnston, parallel for the Rabbitohs. And last packet for box number 6. Dolphins, number 13. And Mr. Patrick Kerrigan, parallel for the Broncos. Let's go box 7. Let me get my lolly fix. Rising Stars, Alec McDonald for the Storm. Stephen Crichton, parallel for Panthers. Zach Wolford, Rising Stars for the Raiders. Warriors, parallel checklist. Very disappointed by the look of these cards. I think this is actually one of the better looking series, to be honest. I think most people agree with me, but I have seen a few people say they're not a fan. Driving Force, Harley Brigginshaw for the Broncos. Jason Taumalolo, parallel for the Cowboys. Jaden Campbell, forwards and backs for the Titans. Manly parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Jacob Arthur for the Eels. Jackson Hastings, parallel for the Tigers. Edward Cossey, gold parallel for the Warriors, number 18. Campbell Graham, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Forwards and backs, Jaden Campbell for the Titans. Both 4 more parallel for the Titans. Women's NRL, Paige McGregor for the Dragons. Bailey Simonson, parallel for the Eels. Corey Oates, season to remember for the Broncos. Elliot Whitehead, parallel for the Raiders. Rising Stars, Ben Thomas for the Roosters. Harry Grant, parallel for the Storm. Season to remember, Zach Fulton for Manly. Blake Brayley, parallel for the Sharks. Rising Stars, Christian Mapalangi for the Knights. Dan Gagai, parallel for the Knights. Driving force, Jerome Hughes for Storm. Daniel Tupou, parallel for Roosters. Rising Stars, Finua Pole for the Tigers. Corey Waddell, parallel for the Bulldogs. Women's NRL, Millie Boyle for the Knights. Mikhail Ravalawa, parallel for the Dragons. Women's NRL, Kimora Brealey Natty for the Titans. Dragons parallel checklist. Dolphins number 6. Daniel Saifiti, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Jamin Salmon for Panthers. Hudson Young, parallel for the Raiders. Rising Stars, Ezra Mam for the Broncos. Toby Sexton, parallel for the Titans. Joseph Tapine, Club Heroes for the Raiders. Alex Twal parallel for the Tigers. Forwards and backs, Selwyn Cobbo for the Broncos. Clint Gufferson parallel for the Eels. Driving force, Stephanie Hancock for the Titans. Jason Saab parallel for Manly. Women's NRL, Olivia Koenig for the Roosters. Ryan Pappenhausen parallel for the Storm. Rising Stars, Ronald Volkman for the Warriors. Jesse Ramian parallel for the Sharks. Rising Stars, Cleese Huss for the Titans. Cowboys parallel checklist. Driving force, Josh Papali for the Raiders. Victor Radley parallel for the Roosters. Driving force team for the Knights, Bulldogs parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Isaac Thompson for the Rabbitohs and Zach Lomax parallel for the Dragons. Julia Robinson, Women's NRL for the Broncos. See what happens when I don't eat my lollies. Brian Toto, parallel for Panthers. Season to remember, Cade Dykes for the Sharks. Kalen Ponga parallel for the Knights. Actually no, I just realised my neck up's above the camera, so you probably can't see me when I'm yawning and that today. Black Authentic number 32, Miss Amber Hall for the Broncos. Yeah, they're good. I'm good. I'm Josh Papali, parallel for the Raiders. Rising Stars, Kale Iro for the Sharks. Latrell Mitchell, parallel for the Rabbitohs. See, Jeff, you stopped talking to me. You left me all alone. Our heroes are Ruben Garrick for Manly. Probably. Billy Walters, parallel for the Broncos. I don't blame them. If it was me, I'd be watching the video back on replay, but increasing the playback speed. Gianna Penitani, Women's NRL for the Eels. Jazz Tavega, parallel for the Warriors. Cool, enjoying this break. Regan Campbell-Gillard, Power Heroes for the Eels. Selwyn Cobbo, parallel for Broncos. Retirements, Suaso Sue for the Knights. Matt Burton, parallel for the Bulldogs. And that is the end of another box. Getting through them slowly but surely. Get open. Box number 8, let's go. Rising Stars, Declan Casey for the Bulldogs. Morgan Harper, parallel for Manly. Rising Stars, Sesefo Fafita for the Titans. Murray Talagi, parallel for the Cowboys. Women's NRL, Kennedy Sherrington for the Eels. Josh Alawai, parallel for Manly. Driving Force, Isaiah Yo for the Panthers. Raiders, parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Jesse Colquhoun for the Sharks. Alex Johnston, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Power Heroes, Matt Burton for the Bulldogs. Brent Naden, parallel for the Tigers. Selwyn Cobbo, Rising Stars for the Broncos. Titans, parallel checklist. Our Heroes, Zach Lomax for the Dragons. Tigers, parallel checklist. Women's NRL, Emily Bass for the Broncos. Malaki Fodawaika, parallel for Titans. Rising Stars, Zach Thornton for Manly. Sean Lane, parallel for the Eels. Driving Force, Alexander Brimson for the Titans. Justin Olam, parallel for Storm. Club Heroes, Jasmine Fogavini for the Broncos. Toby Rudolph, parallel for the Sharks. Matthew Feagoy, Rising Stars for the Dragons. Joey Manu, parallel for the Roosters. Driving force, Jaden Brayley for the Knights. Mitchell Moses, parallel for the Eels. Forwards and backs, Selwyn Cobbo for the Broncos. Jerome Hughes, parallel for the Storm. Georgia Hale, women's NRL for the Titans. Tohu Harris, parallel for the Warriors. Dolphins number 2. Kurt Capewell, parallel for the Broncos. Rising Stars, Grant Anderson for the Storm. Jerome Luai, parallel for Panthers. Forwards and backs, Lindsay Collins for the Roosters and Aaron Shoup, parallel for the Bulldogs. Racine McGregor, women's NRL for the Roosters, and Moses Sulai, parallel for the Dragons. Forwards and backs, Brian To'o for the Panthers, and Joseph Suwali, parallel for the Roosters. Women's NRL, Tegan Berry for the Dragons. Max King, parallel for Bulldogs. Damien Cook, parallel for the Rabbits. Simi Sasagi, Rising Stars for the Knights and Knights Parallel Checklist. Driving force, Adali Cherry Evans for Manly. Jack Whiten, parallel for the Raiders. Trent Peoples, Rising Stars for the Rabbits, and Blake Laurie, parallel for the Dragons. Women's NRL, Hannah Southwell for the Knights, and Adam Fanua Blake, parallel for the Warriors. Pardon? I'll have a coffee if you're offering, please. Tom Chester, Rising Stars for the Cowboys. Kobe Farmworth, parallel for the Broncos. Women's NRL, Driving Force Team for the Titans. Cameron Murray, parallel for the Rabbits. Rising Stars, James Schiller for the Raiders. Dallin Martin Zelezniak, parallel for the Warriors. We got 6 last packet for box number 8. Season to remember, Joseph Suwali for the Roosters. Adam Reynolds, parallel for the Broncos. Season to remember, Jeremiah Nanai for the Cowboys. David Clemmer, parallel for the Knights. Scoring machines. Number 120. Dominic Young for the Knights. James Fisher-Harris, parallel for the Panthers. Season to remember, Latrell Mitchell for the Rabbitohs. Isaiah Yeo, parallel for Panthers. In gold parallel, Mr. Ben Hunt, number 55 for the Dragons. And Reuben Cotter, parallel for Cowboys. Rising Stars, Freddie Lussick for the Warriors, and Nico Hines, parallel for the Sharks. Alright, so we're up to box number 9. If I can stop eating me lollies. There they are. Chuck it anywhere. Just chuck it there. I'll move it in a second over here. Rising Stars, Fletcher Baker for the Roosters Storm, parallel checklist. Stephen Crichton, Power Heroes for Panthers. Ronaldo Mulitalo, parallel for the Sharks. Rising Stars, KO Weeks for Manly. And Will Penasini, parallel for the Eels. Women's NRL, Samaima Torfa for the Eels, and Nick Meaney, parallel for the Storm. Power Heroes, Group A. Dale Finucane, parallel for the Sharks. Rising Stars, Aaron Booth for the Titans. Tommy Dearden, parallel for the Cowboys. Women's NRL, Stephanie Hancock for the Titans. Daly Cherry Evans, parallel for Manly. Women's Women's NRL, Jamie Chapman for the Broncos. Saitili Tupanua parallel for the Roosters. Rising Stars, Austin Diaz for the Tigers. Raymond Faitala Mariner parallel for the Bulldogs. Driving force, Cameron Murray for the Rabbitohs. Jack Bird parallel for the Dragons. Club Heroes, Tolator Koala for Manly. Chris Randall parallel for the Knights. Forwards and backs parallel, Brian To'o for Panthers. Jack Bellum parallel for the Cowboys. Dolphins number 4. Dane Laurie parallel for the Tigers. Rising Stars, Dean Mariner for the Broncos. And Big Tino Fasamuli. There. See, we do try. No. Michael Molo, Rising Stars for the Dragons. Sam Walker parallel for the Roosters. Up the Eels. Driving force, Tavita Pangai Jr. for the Broncos, for the Bulldogs, sorry. Tavita Pangai Jr. parallel for the Bulldogs. Gold parallel, Joey Manu for the Roosters. Number 18. Number 18. Dylan Brown parallel for the Eels. Awesome. Sonny Luke, Rising Stars for the Panthers. Matthew Tomoko, parallel for the Raiders. I've got no idea what that or the other one means either, for that matter, Joe. Jason Saab, forwards and backs for Manly. Thomas Burgess, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Leo Thompson, Rising Stars for the Knights. Bradman Best, parallel for the Knights. Women's NRL, Isabel Kelly for the Roosters. Bunty Afoa, parallel for the Warriors. Chad Townsend, parallel for it's all. Oh, Asamoah. Right, now I understand what you're Chad Townsend for the Cowboys. That's a Mulloway. Uli, isn't it? For Asamoah. There you go. For Asamoah. Say as it looks. Asamoah away. Asamoah away. Tamika Upton. Women's NRL for the Knights. Sounds like a fish. Mulloway. Ruben Garrick parallel for Manly. For the Asamoah. Griffin Neem, Rising Stars for the Cowboys. Patrick Carrigan, parallel for the Broncos. Forwards and backs, Ryan Madison for the Eels. Corey Horsburgh, parallel for the Raiders. Women's NRL, Quincy Dodd for the Dragons. Keon Kolomatangi, parallel for the Rabbits. Rising Stars, Sean Russell for the Eels. It's a Mulloway. Yeah, I know. Stefano Utikamanu, parallel for the Tigers. Jewfish. Driving force, Regan Campbell Gillard. Fasua Masa Ali. There you go. Regan Campbell Gillard, driving force for the Eels. Taylor May, parallel for the Panthers. Yeah, that's right. He's got to come and Dry's got to come and let me know before I start the next break. It's got to be the first comment for the break. Driving force team, Women's NRL for the Knights. Reece Robson, parallel for the Cowboys. Rising Stars, Jacob Carraz for the Bulldogs. Amali Olakatu, parallel for Manly. Season to remember, Bo Formore for the Titans. Stafford Toa, parallel for the Tigers. Season to remember, Addo Carr for the Bulldogs. Alexander Brimson, parallel for the Titans. Rising Stars, Trey Mooney for the Raiders. Adam Pompey, parallel for the Warriors. Season to remember, Jake Clifford for the Knights. Broncos parallel checklist. Funny thing is, when we get the checklist, me and Mum normally have a laugh between ourselves about me and the names, how I'm going to do this year, or this release, depending on who's in it. Driving force, Kurt Capewell for the Broncos. Dylan Edwards, parallel for Panthers. And retirement, Corey Thompson for the Titans. And a Brian Kelly parallel for the Titans. Alright. Box number 10. So we have the box we've just opened, which is box number 10, our 2 titanium and our priority left to go. Yeah, I have that thought every year, Jeff, and most of them do so well. Declan Casey, a Rising Stars for the Bulldogs. Josh Alloway, parallel for Manly. And then you got to think about the European leagues in soccer and that, some of their names. I believe they're in the process, Dry. Those exact ones. The gold specials. There you go. Rising Stars, Selwyn Cobbo for the Broncos. Dave Feeder, parallel for the Titans. Jackson Hastings, yeah, that would be a nightmare. Parramatta Eels, a checklist. Adam Pompey, forwards and backs parallel for the Warriors. Josh King, parallel for Storm. In gold parallel, Ruben Cotter for the Cowboys. Yep, Mum's in the process of doing them at the moment. She's been creating them probably for the last few hours. So once she's finished creating them with the variations and the pictures, she'll probably turn them public. Number 32, Ruben Cotter, a gold parallel. Murray Talagi, parallel for the Cowboys. Rising Stars, Freddie Lussick for the Warriors. William Kennedy, parallel for the Sharks. Forwards and backs, Jack DeBellin for the Dragons. Angus Crichton, parallel for the Roosters. Season to remember, Josh Papali for the Raiders. James Fisher-Harris, parallel for the Panthers. Elsie Albert, Women's NRL for the Dragons. Addo Carr, parallel for the Bulldogs. Not sure if there's any left, but I did upload some new Dolphins cards this morning into stock. Rising Stars, Trent Peebles for the Rabbitohs. Cody Ramsey, parallel for the Dragons. And Power Heroes Pink were also done this morning. Season to remember, Clint Gutherson for the Eels. Dominic Young, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Tom Chester for the Cowboys. Adam Reynolds, parallel for the Broncos. Driving Force, Keezy Apps for the Dragons. Nick Kotrick, parallel for the Raiders. Rising Stars, Jesse Colquhoun for the Sharks. Rabbitohs parallel checklist. Karina Brown, Women's NRL for the Titans. Edward Cossey, parallel for the Warriors. Women's NRL, Romy Teasel for the Knights. Talent Watine Zalesniak, parallel for the Warriors. Dolphins number 8. And Payne Huss, parallel for the Broncos. Rising Stars, Grant Anderson for the Storm. Nathan Cleary, parallel for the Panthers. Rising Stars, Matthew Feagai for the Dragons. Joseph Suwali, parallel for the Roosters. Club Heroes, Payne Huss for the Broncos. Nico Hines, parallel for the Sharks. Forwards and backs, Max King for the Bulldogs. Max King, parallel for the Bulldogs. Driving Force, Jessica Surgis for the Roosters. Jerome Hughes, parallel for the Storm. Women's NRL, Jessica Surgis for the Roosters. Blake Laurie, parallel for the Dragons. Rising Stars, Simi Sasagi for the Knights. David Clemmer, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Zach Fulton for Manly. Mitchell Moses, parallel for the Eels. Driving Force, Daniel Saifiti for the Knights. Raiders Parallel Checklist. Driving Force Team for the Storm. Alex Johnston Parallel for the Rabbitohs. Rising Stars James Schiller for the Raiders. Tohu Harris Parallel for the Warriors. Women's NRL Amber Hall for the Broncos. Titans Parallel Checklist. Season to remember Cameron Munster for the Storm. Kurt Capewell Parallel for the Broncos. Ryan James retirement for the Broncos. Jerome Luai Parallel for Panthers. Our Heroes Adam Dewey for the Tigers. Brent Naden Parallel for the Tigers. Rising Stars Sesefo Fafita for the Titans. Scott Drinkwater Parallel for the Cowboys. Women's NRL Rakea Horn for the Eels. Jake Trbojevic Parallel for Manly. Here we go. Fasua Masa Ali, Power Heroes for the Titans. Asu Kapoa, Parallel for the Tigers. Cameron Murray, Parallel for the Rabbits. Alright. Number 11. Legs 11. We get the Broom Broom cars. Let's go. Broom Broom. Season to remember, Isaac Tego for Panthers. Dane Laurie Parallel for the Tigers. Scoring machines. Number 28 for the Rabbitohs. Latrell Mitchell. Fasua Masa Ali, Parallel for Titans. Aaron Booth, Rising Stars for the Titans. Valentine Holmes, parallel for the Cowboys. Rising Stars, Austin Diaz for the Tigers. Tavita Pangai Jr., parallel for the Bulldogs. I guess one of the bonuses of Dad not being here is we didn't have any of the tape in the background. So bad. Driving force, Ruben Cotter for the Cowboys. Jack DeBellin, parallel for the Dragons. Five Heroes, Taylor May for the Panthers. Bradman Best, parallel for the Knights. Kiera Weeks, Rising Stars for Manly. Regan Campbell Gillard, parallel for the Eels. Christian Pio, Women's NRL for the Eels. Nelson Asafa Solomona, parallel for the Storm. Power Heroes and Nico Hines for the Sharks. Seisifa Talakai, parallel for the Sharks. Women's NRL, Lauren Brown for the Titans. Tommy Turbo, parallel for Manly. Rising Stars, Sonny Luke for the Panthers. Corey Horsburgh, parallel for the Raiders. Wade Egan, forwards and backs for the Warriors. Keon Kolomatangi, parallel for the Rabbits. Sarah Tagatuki, Women's NRL for the Roosters. Adam Pompey, parallel for the Warriors. Rising Stars, Griffin Neem for the Cowboys. Broncos, parallel checklist. Forwards and backs, Jacob Saifiti for the Knights. Jordan Rapana, parallel for the Raiders. Rising Stars, Michael Molo for the Dragons. Roosters, parallel checklist. Driving force, Tino Asa Fasua Masa Ali. Yeah, no. Jake Cavarillo, parallel for the Bulldogs. I'll need it written in front of me every time I get it. Number 9 for the Dolphins. Panua Pole, parallel for the Tigers. Women's NRL, Rachel Pearson for the Dragons. Cody Walker, parallel for the Rabbits. Rising Stars, Trey Mooney for the Raiders. Wade Egan parallel for the Warriors. Reese Robson parallel for the Cowboys. Bobby Law, Women's NRL for the Knights, and Hamoli Olakaatu parallel for Manly. Driving Force, Tiana Penatani for the Eels. Dylan Edwards parallel for Panthers. Driving Force team for the Sharks. Tommy Dearden parallel for Cowboys. Rising Stars, Sean Russell for the Eels. Stafford Toa parallel for the Tigers. Season to remember, Mikhail Ravalawa for the Dragons. Brian Kelly parallel for the Titans. Gold parallel, Dale Finucane for the Sharks, number 62. Will Penasini parallel for the Eels. Season to remember, Adam Reynolds for the Broncos. Katoni Staggs parallel for the Broncos. Rising Stars, Jacob Carraz for the Bulldogs. Daly Cherry Evans parallel for Manly. Driving Force, Jack Whiten, and Panthers parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Fletcher Baker for the Roosters. Nick Meaney parallel for the Storm. Power Heroes, Patrick Carrigan for the Broncos. Dale Finucane parallel for the Sharks. Women's NRL, Amy Turner for the Broncos. Sam Walker parallel for the Roosters. 3 packets left of box number 11. Next we have the last box from the case. Dean Mariner, Rising Stars for the Broncos. Philip Sammy parallel for the Titans. Forwards and backs parallel, Harry Grant for the Storm. Jaden Sewer parallel for the Dragons. Rising Stars, Leo Thompson for the Knights, and Jacob Saifiti parallel for the Knights. And that's another box done, guys. Just push it out of the way, and we'll get to it and fix it at the end. That 12th box. Lucky last of the case. Let's go. Saratoga Tookie for the Roosters, authentic initials. Number 167. Belt semi, parallel for the Titans. Rising Stars, Kiro Weeks for Manly. Ryan Madison, parallel for the Eels. Vanessa Foley-Ike, Women's NRL for the Eels. Cameron Munster, parallel for the Storm. Rising Stars, Aaron Booth for the Titans. Jeremiah Nanai, parallel for the Cowboys. Our heroes are Damien Cook for the Rabbits. Sharks parallel checklist. Our heroes, Chad Townsend for the Cowboys. CSF Talakai, parallel for the Sharks. Women's NRL, Harley Brigginshaw for the Broncos. Roosters, parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Austin Diaz for the Tigers. Jake Averillo, parallel for the Bulldogs. Rising Stars, Michael Molo for the Dragons. Jared Rura-Hargraves, parallel for the Roosters. Driving force, Tamika Upton for the Knights. Jacob Carraz, parallel for the Bulldogs. Women's NRL, Azara Canfield for the Titans. Lachlan Croker, parallel for Manly. Driving force, Avania Polite for the Titans. Jaden Sewer, parallel for the Dragons. Club hero, Samaima Torfa for the Eels. Jacob Saifiti, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Sonny Luke for Panthers. Jordan Rapana, parallel for the Raiders. Amoli Olaka-Atu, forwards and backs for Manly. Cody Walker, parallel for the Rabbits. Rising Women's NRL for the Roosters, Destiny Brill. Wade Egan, parallel for the Warriors. Let's tighten some of these up. Forwards and backs, Mitchell Moses for the Eels. Joseph Tapine, parallel for the Raiders. Rising Stars, Leo Thompson for the Knights. Nari Tuala, parallel for the Knights. Rising Stars, Griffin Neem for the Cowboys. Tony Staggs, parallel for the Broncos. Women's NRL, Emma Tonigato for the Dragons. Jai Arrow, parallel for the Rabbits. Tommy Dearden, parallel for the Cowboys. Caitlin Johnston, Women's NRL for the Knights. Daly Cherry Evans, parallel for Manly. Rising Stars, Sean Russell for the Eels. Dane Laurie, parallel for the Tigers. Jake Trbojevic, driving force for Manly. Panthers parallel checklist. Driving force team for Manly. Valentine Holmes, parallel for the Cowboys. Rising Stars, Trey Mooney for the Raiders. Josh Curran, parallel for the Warriors. Season to remember, Tolator Koala for Manly. Tino Fasua Masa Ali, parallel for Titans. Season to remember, Angus Crichton for the Roosters. Thomas Flegler, parallel for the Broncos. Rising Stars, Jacob Carraz for the Bulldogs. Tommy Turbo, parallel for Manly. Season to remember, Damien Cook for the Rabbits. Fanua Pole, parallel for the Tigers. Driving force, James Fisher-Harris for the Panthers. Liam Martin, parallel for the Panthers. Gold parallel, Jordan Rapana for the Raiders, number 9. Number 9. Regan Campbell-Gillard, parallel for the Eels. Rising Stars, Fletcher Baker for the Roosters. Nelson Asafa Solomona, parallel for Storm. Dolphins number 7. Adam Dewey, parallel for the Tigers. 2 packets left for box number 12, the last box of the case. All we have left is the priority box, guys. Rising Stars, Dean Mariner for the Broncos. Jaden Campbell, parallel for the Titans. And forwards and backs, parallel Zach Lomax for the Dragons. And Ben Hunt, parallel for the Dragons. Hey, Rocco. Basically loaded, loading. There you go, Jai. If you go and check out the page, you should be lucky enough to find what you're looking for.
Well, that's if you've got it.
Well, that's it. That's if we've been lucky enough to find the one you're looking for, or the ones.
What we have.
Yeah, I know. I've gone through the table. I've made sure everything's scanned. So Mum has listed absolutely all of them that we currently have. Then yeah, as we open more, there will be more. Alright, final box of the break, guys. We are there. Let's go. Alright, good luck. Rising Stars, Isaac Thompson for the Rabbitohs. Jack Bellin, parallel for the Dragons. Rising Stars, Fanua Pole for the Tigers. Jake Averillo, parallel for the Bulldogs. In all honesty, Rocco, if you're not going to try and collect the rest, I suggest having a look on Facebook for someone that's doing a predictor share. And in saying that, I am expecting a few people to be doing them, but I haven't seen any posts for them as yet. So there's normally a few people that put them together. Okay, Dykes, season to remember for the Sharks. Oops. Bradman Best, parallel for Knights. Ooh, another authentic black. Number 8. Ruben Cotter for the Cowboys. Peter Lowe, if you're still watching, congratulations. Number 8, nice, fairly low one. Corey Horsburgh, parallel for the Raiders. Did we find a second predictor in that case? Not sure. Rising Stars, Kale Hero for the Sharks. Rocco, I quite like them. We had Ben jump in the chat earlier, and basically all he said was he doesn't like them. Didn't elaborate on that at all, but yeah, overall I think they're awesome. There isn't too much not to like in my opinion. Keon Kolomatangi, parallel for the Rabbits. I believe they even got the base cards and parallels around the right way, as in the parallels do look nicer than the base. Our Heroes, Reuben Garrick for Manly. Patrick Carrigan at parallel for the Broncos. Even the basic inserts like the season to remember and that, they look awesome when they're matched up in their team sets. Women's NRL, Kimura Brealey Natty for the Titans. Jaden Sewer parallel for the Dragons. Women's NRL, Tiana Penatani for the Eels. Adam Pompey parallel for the Warriors. Our heroes, Regan Campbell Gillard for the Eels. What's my favourite cards? Not sure really, to be honest. Broncos parallel checklist. I think the priority team cards, the team, what are they called? The Power Force. No. Yeah, are they Power Force? Having a blank. Forwards and backs, Jaden Campbell for the Titans. Tino Fasua Masa Ali for the Titans parallel. Rising Stars, Alec McDonald for the Storm. Dylan Edwards, parallel for the Panthers. The Dolphins are number 9. I think we've already got a number 9 in there. Jacob Saifiti, parallel for the Knights. Jamin Salmon, Rising Stars for the Panthers. Jordan Arapana, parallel for the Raiders. Women's NRL, Julia Robinson for the Broncos. Yeah, don't even, Jeff, I know. Taylor May, parallel for Panthers. Why do you think I end up just saying Big Tino? Because it's so much quicker even when I do get it right, or close to being right. Big Tino, chuck it in the thing and let's go. Next one. Cleese Huss, Rising Stars for the Titans. Reese Robson, parallel for the Cowboys. Paige McGregor, Women's NRL for the Dragons. Regan Campbell Gillard, parallel for the Eels. Brendan Darlin was awesome. As soon as you heard one of the names I couldn't pronounce, he would go and get the pronunciation for me and post it in there. Jackson Hastings, a driving force for the Tigers. Tommy Dearden, parallel for the Cowboys. Ooh, forwards and backs. Number 15 for the Eels, Mitchell Moses. Jai Dawson. Daly Cherry Evans, parallel for Manly. Jessica Surgis, driving force for the Roosters. And Molly Olakau'atu, parallel for Manly. Club Heroes, number 15 for the Panthers, Dylan Edwards. We haven't had the team one yet. Stafford Tower, parallel for the Tigers. Rising Stars, Ben Thomas for the Roosters. Nelson Asafa Solomona, parallel for the Storm. More retirements, Josh Jackson for the Bulldogs. Raymond Fatala Mariner, parallel for the Bulldogs. Millie Boyle, women's NRL for the Knights. Jack Bird, parallel for the Dragons. Rising Stars, Ezra Mam for the Broncos. Ryan Kelly, parallel for the Titans. Forwards and backs, Selwyn Cobbo for the Broncos. Will Penasini, parallel for the Eels. Season to remember, Zach Fulton for Manly. Siosifa Talakai, parallel for the Sharks. Olivia Koenig, women's NRL for the Roosters. Nick Meaney, parallel for the Storm. Rising Stars, Christian Mapalangi for the Knights. Chris Randall, parallel for the Knights. Season to remember, Corey Oates for the Broncos. Matthew Tomoko, parallel for the Raiders. Rising Stars, Ronald Volkman for the Warriors. Dale Finucane, parallel for the Sharks. Driving force, Keezy Apps for the Dragons. Roosters, parallel checklist. Driving force, Daniel Saifiti for the Knights. Sam Walker, parallel for the Roosters. Gold parallel, Brian To'o for the Panthers. Number 10. Thomas Burgess, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Rising Stars, Jacob Arthur for the Eels. Dane Laurie, parallel for the Tigers. 2 packets left. You haven't had a Driving Force team parallel, which means it should be in the last packet. Either that or if I've just forgotten. Zach Wolford, Rising Stars for the Raiders. Bunty Ofoa, parallel for the Warriors. And trust me, if you knew me, that is possible. Here we go, last packet. There it is. We didn't miss it. It's still there. And if you're still watching, Rocco, I think these are my favourite cards. I think the priority background on them just make them pop, and yeah. Other than that, season to remembers for your basic inserts and the parallel cards. I think the parallels look awesome. The white pearl, yeah. So Power Force team for the Sharks, number 2. Nice low one for Scott Crimo. He will be happy. Tavita Pengai Jr. parallel for the Bulldogs. And that is the end. We have no more packets. What we do have though is a Group A and a Group B Power Heroes to randomise between the 8 featured teams. And along with the Dolphins and Augur cards, we also have a predictor, our first Dolphins predictor in the breaks. Alright, let's quickly see what we have. So we've got 1, 2, double on 5, 6, double on 7, 8, double 9, 12, 13, 15 and 17. So a nice spread across the board, a couple of doubles for anyone that would like to trade. And as I said, the Dolphins predictor number 221. That's with the Dolphins cards and one of each of the Group A and Group B. So once again, I wish you all good luck. We will flick over and find out who we have. So we will do Group A first. Number 1, number 2 and number 3. Brett Peters with the Raiders taking home the Power Heroes Group A. We'll reset the list and we will grab the new names. Alright. We don't need any extra spots, and I accidentally deleted that. Alright, let's go. Number 1. Number 2 and lucky last number 3, Roger Cito with the Dragons. Alright, now don't get me wrong, it's not quite a legend signature, but it is the Dolphins cards and they have proven to be quite popular in our orders and across the posts on Facebook. So let's go, let's find out our lucky winner. Number 1, number 2 and lucky last number 3, Matt Price with the Roosters. Alright guys, that's it, that's all. Don't forget to check out the rest of the breaks on the website.